Shalom. We started this Torah cycle with Bereshit, which is the first Torah portion for this year. And this week I'm preparing Parashat Noah, which is Noah. It's all about building the boat, building the ark, and the flood. Now, just to zoom out a bit from what we learned last week or this Saturday, was the idea of the creation of man. And now the separation process is part of creation. And now Yahweh searched for Adam. And Adam was hidden underneath the waters of the deep, underneath the sand or within the sand of the earth. And that's why the separation of the waters and waters, separation of the land and the sea, and then the separation of Adam from the land, or Adam from Adamah, which is the word for ground or earth. So it's a separation process. And then Yahweh breathed, and Adam has the Aleph together with Dam. Dam is blood, Aleph means Yahweh, and it's the blood of Yahweh that is completing the creation of Adam, which was only coming into fulfillment after Mashiach's shedding of his blood, the blood of the Lamb, which is now available to make us Adam again, or the original Adam, the restoration or the bringing back to the blueprint of what the image and the likeness of Yahweh is manifested within a human form. Now, in saying that, we kick off with Genesis 6. Now, Genesis 6, when you read it, it's about the giants. Oh, that's interesting. There was giants in the land, and then the gods or the sons of God intermingled with the daughters of man, and then giants came into being. If you look at the Hebrew, the giants that existed prior to the Elohim who intermingled with the daughters of man, they were the Nephilim. So the Nephilim existed before the Elohim defiled Adam. And then Gibor came into being, and Gibor is translated as mighty men, tyrants, and giants. So yes, there were giants or mighty men, men of renown, that came into existence as a result of the defilement. And defilement is nothing other than mixing. Mixing is to do with Babylon. Babylon is to do with confusion. And Yahweh is in the process of separation in order to make it holy again, to scrape off the impurity, so to speak. So that's what the idea of judgment is. It's just the refining process of the creation cycle, which Yahweh then used to purify his creation. Now, the question I have, that I asked myself this morning, where did the Nephilim comes from? Where do they come from? Elohim comes from the word, is it Elam, Elah? I forgot now. Can you believe it? I forgot. Eloah or Elohim. No. Elim, that's it, Elim. Elim means to fall. That's the word where it comes from. So the Elohim came into being as a result of the fall. The fall of who? The fall of the previous creation, maybe, that was covered. And the Elohim still existed. When Yahweh separated, they came out again, maybe. Don't know. So I'm not going to give it away. I found the answer this morning through a little rabbit trail through the Gematria. And I will share that this Sabbath coming. But the question is, where do the Elohim, where did they come from? Because they existed before the giants, but they were giants in themselves. So that's something you can think about, and and then we can discuss it. It's actually a very interesting topic. Now, zooming out yet again, I want to connect what I connected on Saturday is the menorah pattern of the earth that was destroyed in a flood prior to the time being of Bereshit, or it might be part of Bereshit, prior to the creation, prior to the first words that were spoken that said, "Let there be light." There was a judgment, and the waters covered the earth. There was darkness, emptiness that flooded the whole earth. And the earth was under submission of darkness, the kingdom of darkness, or the dark waters, the Choshek, where the origin of the king of the south, or the kingdom of darkness is, which is the kingdom of Nachash, which is the opposite of Mashiach. So you can see the two poles. And that origin is now connected to another flood that we read about in this Torah portion. The flood where defilement has been judged and a separation process took place, because judgment is just a separation process that's part of the refinement of the creation cycle. Now, within the gematria of looking at these matters, I still found the word cycle or circle. It's all part of a cycle. And the connection between the first judgment before Genesis 1 verse 3 that says, "Let there be light," connected to Genesis 6, and after that, another flood. We see the same pattern. It's a holographic image of the same pattern. So that gives us a hint, reading the story of Noah, of what might have happened prior to the initial or the previous judgment and the previous flood that covered the earth. Can it be of the same kind? Is it of the same type of a cycle of refinement? And the Adam that was taken out of the sand, out from the waters of the deep, are they the ones who were still to be refined from the previous cycle, the ones who didn't make it? And they now have the opportunity to be refined through this cycle of which me and you are part of. And after the next judgment, there will be another refining cycle that will take place after those who are the bride enter the city, and those on the outside, they will then continue with another cycle of separation. So I just want to leave you with those thoughts, connecting the beginning and the end and all the ideas that's associated with it, so we can understand the cyclical nature of Yahweh's word. And I also want to make a connection to, just like we did with Adam, I want to make a connection to the Nephilim, where they came from and why did they exist prior to the sons of God intermingling with the daughters of man that brought forth a similar kind, similar to Elohim, but they were different. So I'll leave you with those thoughts, and I hope you have a lovely day. I will speak to you soon. Shalom.